Unit 8, Section 2, the Progressive Era. Today we're going to talk about political reforms. Political reforms at the turn of the 20th century were in response to the Gilded Age at the end of the 19th century. The Gilded Age was a period of extreme wealth, but also that wealth was acquired through graft and corruption by taking advantage of our government at the end of the 19th century. Change needs to occur, and that comes in the form of the progressive movement. And there are three political reforms that are examples of the types of changes that occurred in our government. The first is an initiative. The definition of initiative is something that you do on your own without someone telling you to do it. The definition here, the political definition, is legislation started by citizens. There are a couple of examples that I could give you of initiatives. One example of an initiative is in many states, there are attempts to change the state constitutions, and the issue is same-sex marriage. And oftentimes this legislation comes through petition by citizens living in that state. The reason for that is a lot of state legislators don't want to go on record on such a controversial issue. And so oftentimes through petition, citizens within a state have to start their own legislation. Why is this important at the beginning of the 20th century? Because it's going to take power out of the hands of corrupt officials in state legislatures all across the country and put it in the hands of the people. So a good example of an initiative is maybe an attempt at legislation on same-sex marriages. The second political reform of the 20th century are referendums. Now, the definition of a referendum is a vote on an initiative. The picture here shows you a referendum that was attempted in the state of California to outlaw same-sex marriages. And down at the bottom here, you can see where you would be asked to sign the petition, and if you supported this amendment to the state constitution in California as it is written on the paper. And then this would be presented as a vote to the voters of the state of California. So make sure that you write in for referendum that this is a vote on an initiative. And the final one is a recall. It's the easiest of the three to remember, and basically it just means that if you do have a corrupt official in office, that you can call a special election and run someone against that person in hopes that they would defeat them and you could remove them from office. This again, is another example of how democracy was placed in the hands of the people. And this concludes our lesson on Unit 8, Section 2 on political reforms.